Hey guys, Shot Midget here. I'm going to be doing a review on the V12 Grip Connect. I want to make this clear, this will work with the V12 of course. It'll work with Fusion engines, it'll work with jacks, F1s, Infernos, SMPs, and probably even the Red Line that just came out. It's pretty much for all of them. It does use a standard base plate, so it might not fit your grip depending on what kind you have. So if you have a Magpul grip, it will not fit a Magpul grip, but I have seen people have them on Magpul grips. In fact, I have a Magpul base plate right here. So you can modify these. In fact, you can make one of these, but it's just easier to buy one. And I saw one in stock and I just decided to. And actually, you might be able to, you can unscrew this. I can't do it while it's put together. You can unscrew this and take the valve completely out, and it might even thread into this. You'll just have to modify the top part here. You have to cut this off. Okay? I've seen people with Magpul grips with these type of grip plates. So you can do modifications, and they probably even have a specific Magpul one that you can buy. This is the box that it comes in, and this is what it replaces. So this is the one that I had on my V12 to begin with. Sorry, it was this one. This is a Polar Star one, and so is this one. They're Polar Star made. Not that there's much of a difference, but these are really, really good. This one right here is a V12 one, and these suck. They get out of the box, they're garbage. And then this one, I think, is an SMP. A Wolverine. So the Polar Star ones are much better. So out of the box, if you buy a V12 engine, I'd recommend getting this base plate. I would just recommend it. If you have a standard pistol grip or like a Tango Down style, it will fit those, and I'd recommend just getting one. Now, obviously, if you have like an Amoeba grip, honestly, I'm not sure how you would do an Amoeba grip. You'd probably just have to straight up modify that. But again, we have one on the Tango Down grip here, it's Devon's, and one on the standard pistol grip that's been stippled. So where do I start? Basically, on install, it doesn't come with the screws, so you have to supply the screws, and you might need to modify it a little bit. I had to sand out the front and a little bit of the sides here so that it would seat all the way forward so my screws would line up with the threads. That was the only issue. So no issue with leaking, though. It won't affect anything else. So it comes with a rubber cap on the end to keep dust out. Obviously, like I said, Devon's is missing. I might end up ripping this off because you can't just simply slide it off. Actually, wow, look at that. I totally lied to you guys. Check that out. I kind of like the look of that a little bit better. So you can take the cap off, but this will help with keeping dust out. So I might put this in my bag, or I might be able to hang it on my gun somewhere. I might be able to hang it on my gun somewhere. I'll see it. That would be nice if I could hang it on there somewhere, like tie it, so that I can use it later on, or I can just put it in my bag. But when I stay at the field, when I play Saturday and Sunday, it's dusty there, so I will want to, at least at the outdoors, or the indoors, what I'm talking about. Okay, so there we go. So you can just wrap it around. That's probably what I'll do. It's kind of in the way a little bit. I'll probably put it somewhere else on the gun. But that's just an example. You can hang it on something so that you still have it. But I don't know. I just like it being out of the way. It's not something else to, you know, plug into. Because once you unplug your hose and go to put the gun away, you'd have to hook this back up. You don't have to. You can just leave it dangling. But it's pointless if you don't reconnect it. So that's that. You don't have to have that. I'm just going to go ahead and slide mine on again. I totally thought it wasn't as flexible as it is. And then again, it just covers it up, just like that. Okay, so this is Devon's. His is using a metal base plate. The base plate was modified to work, so you can use a different base plate. If your plastic base plate breaks, you just have to modify it a little bit, and it's not hard whatsoever. So let's go ahead and plug these in. Batteries are hooked up. Again, that's what it replaces, the valve. So what's a positive about this? In my opinion, it lines the hose up so it goes straight under your armpit. Some people like it going over. I like it going under. So if you want this to be tucked against your body and go under, this is perfect. So as an example, I'll hook it up. I'll just use Devin's for the sake of the video. There's no air hooked up, so it's hooked up, but I haven't tapped the tank. So when you're shooting like this, see how it goes? It's at an angle. Now obviously this is going to be taut because it's going to be put in the bag. It might be hanging like right there, but it's still in line, okay? Whereas normally what happens is the hose will kind of bend. It could just go like this, and the whole thing will just bend and be to the side. And that's when you get it caught. When it's against your body, it's a lot easier, and you can get shorter hoses, longer hoses, so it's even more tighter to you. So that I prefer that. Some people actually run it through their plate carrier, like through the strap, or you can actually run it through if you have a JPC and you don't have anything on the side. It's like open, and you could probably run it through there just to keep it tight. But I honestly just leave it off, or leave it just under my armpit, not hooked up to anything, so I can unhook it and then put my gun down. So that is that. I'll go ahead and tap the tank. There's no reason to shoot the gun, but I'll just show you that it seals properly and everything, just for the heck of it. Make sure it's clear. So, like I said, it's kind of taut. You know what I mean? It feels nicer, in my opinion. And for $15 to $20, you can't beat it. So then, so I feel like I like it. I love it a lot. I think it's a great upgrade. If you're going to buy a V12, I would recommend getting this, and then I also recommend getting the QEV valve out of the box. If you get both of those, then you're gonna be good to go. Pretty much, you're not gonna have any issues with efficiency because the QEV valve helps a lot with efficiency. I've heard people say that they get the efficiency of like Gen 1 SMPs and Gen 1 Infernos ish. Like the Gen 1 of those engines, people have said that they've gotten V12s as efficient as that. I don't know if there's proof to that. I don't know what PSI they're running, if they're running full auto or not. There's a lot of variables, but I will tell you the QEV valve does help with efficiency. I don't have it. I just run it straight at between 80 and 85 PSI. At 85 PSI, I get 390, so that's for outdoors. And for indoors, I'm going to run it like right in between. It's like right at 380. I could just put it down to 80 PSI, and it's about 365, I think. 365, 370. But I run it like right at 380. That's just where I prefer it. It's a little bit easier to do that. Plus, the higher PSI makes the amp a little louder, so I like to keep that PSI up. Plus, when you tend to, between 90, if you go above 90, in my experience, I get some double feeds. At least with my old hop-up, I did upgrade the hop-up, but I used to get double feeds when I went above 90 PSI with my bored-out nozzle. And it functions at 70. 70 is the lowest PSI that I can get to function at, but it does function fine. And it probably shoots about 350. I haven't chronoed it, but it shoots about 350 roughly. But if I go to a field that requires 350, I'm just going to take my Amoeba. So this is, in my state, this is perfect. I run at 380 and I can literally play anywhere, okay? So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.